Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Today we're reacting to another Necrit League of Legends thing. It's the Star Guardians that we know so far. And it's all about what I need to know so far. So yeah, let's go. Okay. Captions on. Let's watch this. So I don't really know a lot about Star Guardians. I watched a playlist about it and some cinematics. I know that there was a team that died. And then there's another team. And I think somebody told me that Zoe was the first Star Guardian ever, but now she's like the big baddie. But that's all I know. I do know that I do wish that this was an anime, and I wish they had more cinematics. This is recommended to me.
Well, it seems like we are only a couple of days away from the official release of the 2022 Star Guardian event. From all the teasers that we've been getting so far, it really does seem like this event is gonna be big. And so, because it was pretty much confirmed that we will get a Star Guardian visual novel that will focus on all the already established story of all the Star Guardians, it would be a good idea to summarize all the story for those of you who have no idea what's going on. After all, the Star Guardians are Riot's biggest alternative universe. As of right now, the Star Guardians have three different cinematics and three separate stories that continue one big story arc. Thankfully for me, Riot did the hard work and they summarized all the story of Star Guardians so far.
So all you have to do is read it.
That's what we will talk about today. Now, super quickly, I want to mention that throughout this video, I will likely reference Star Guardian videos that we have on our channel. This is the only alternative universe that I have covered completely. We have the introduction video. This one basically explains all the bios of all the Star Guardians. Then there is the Starfall story. This was the first big story Star Guardians got. Then there is the Pajama Guardians lore. This is the Star Guardian story that we got the year after that. And then there is the video about the corrupted Star Guardians.
Okay, and I've
this
seen
is
that
covering the latest story.
Yeah.
So if you really want to, you can binge watch the entire Star Guardian lore in this order. However, be aware of the fact that these videos are 4 years old. I myself couldn't watch it. I hate my old voice. Anyway, if you don't want to suffer through my past self, let's go through Riot's summary. So without further ado, let's have a look at the Star Guardian lore so far.
Let's go.
In the beginning, the first star gave birth to the universe and all life. To protect its creations and ensure the cycle of life would continue for eternity, the first star entrusted individuals iron-willed and pure of heart with fragments of its essence, starlight, as protectors of the universe throughout the ages. By day, they navigate the stress, drama, and emotional turbulence of being high school students. By night, they fight back the evil forces that threaten to cover the world in darkness. Together, they must find hope in the power of friendship and overcome their doubts, or risk burning out and falling into darkness. They are Star Guardians. Powerful and striking. These Star Guardians are living supernovas who vanquish the terrors of the galaxy with wondrous powers. However, their fantastic existence comes at a cost. They are bound to the first star's cause and must fight before they perish or fall. This was the introductory lore which we got before any of the Star Guardian
What if they don't fight?
This basically just set up the universe.
So they have to fight for the rest of their life.
Now comes the first chapter called Before the Light. The story in this chapter was only ever referenced in the other stories. We never got a separate story that would explain this chapter, and we only knew about this part of the story because it was mentioned in the champions' bios. Prior to Lux, the Guardian we first met, there were others. On a lonely moon far from the lights of Valorant City, a team consisting of Ahri, Misfortune, Xayah, Rakan, and Nico attempted to defeat Zoe, a murderous former Guardian known as the Twilight Star.
She was the first
Though
Guardian,
they fight bravely, their mission ends in a disaster. Xayah and Rakan are killed, only to be resurrected later under Zoe's power, with Nico presumed destroyed alongside them. Their loss is great and pain raw. The Star Guardian's resolve is shaken. Ahri and Misfortune leave this encounter deeply scarred, but they know their fate. Die in the defense of the light. One loss would not see their resolve defeated, so they set out to build another team of other orphaned Guardians. This is followed up by a chapter called First Light. This is when Lux is first introduced into the scene. And this is where you would start reading the bios of all the champions.
Jinx?
For example,
She looks like
Lux's
Jinx.
bio mentions that she is very much new
Okay,
to her
that's Lux.
powers, and she still doesn't fully understand what it means to be a Star Guardian, and so she may feel like an inexperienced leader. The summary mentions that in this
She's
chapter,
cute.
for
She
the first
reminds me of
time,
Chibi Moon.
Lux, whose light first shined for us, is introduced into the Star Guardians. Alone against the darkness, absent the friendship and close bonds the Guardians need, she begins her journey to create a team to join her. And as you may have guessed, this is when Lux formed a team together with Jinx, Janna,
Jinx, so
Poppy,
was
and
that
Lulu.
Jinx?
But all of that is explained in the next chapter.
Oh yeah, it
Burning
is, I
Bright.
think.
Lux recruits other Guardians to join her against the darkness. Jinx, Lulu,
Poppy,
Janna,
Lulu?
and Poppy.
Or is
Lux
Lulu the
struggles
blue
to
hair?
balance her life
I think
as a
Poppy's
teenager
the blue hair
and
one,
her
right?
secret identity as a leader of the Star Guardians. Lux desperately tries to support her new team, but the stress of their fatal call of destiny proves too much for Jinx, and she leaves the team. In that moment of despair, a monster strikes. The fractured team isn't strong enough to defeat the attack, and just when the light seems dimmest, Jinx returns to her friends. Using their combined power of love
Yay.
and friendship, the Guardians defeat
Love
the
and
forces
friendship.
of darkness and are once again united. Lux and Jinx's relationship and the team's bonds are stronger than ever. While this chapter wasn't supported by too much lore, this entire story was pretty much explained in the first cinematic. There you can see how Jinx leaves them, and you can see when she returns. Though watching it the first time, you may have not understood what actually happened there.
Kinda
And
not.
after this, we get the chapter called A New Horizon. This is when the second
New
team was
Horizon.
introduced. It has been done so through the cinematic, which pretty much only shows you Ari forming the new team. Lux and her team aren't the only Star Guardians in the universe. In the next adventure, we meet Ari and her team of Guardians from the Outer Rim. By the way, yes, this means that this team is from another planet. Just like Lux and her friends.
Okay.
Ari, Misfortune, Syndra, Ezreal and Soraka were chosen to fight together and die in the defense of the first star. While Lux still strives to fulfill her destiny, Ari has stopped believing in fate. 3 of her former comrades were lost in service to the light, and Ari is determined to break the cycle of destiny that leads Guardians to their inevitable doom. She
Okay.
cannot go through the pain of her newfound
You
friends.
can't blame her.
Not again. Once again, all of this was set up in the very short second cinematic, but the payoff comes in the next chapter, called Starfall, which, yes, if you look at the name,
Starfall.
this is when the Starfall story happened. Omnia's dreams and the promise of a meteor show bring both teams of Star Guardians to Camp Targon, where tensions begin to rise. The Guardians are forced to put disagreements aside to defeat the intrusion of Void Beasts. After finding victory, Lux looks to Ari to lead the United Star Guardians against the darkness. But Ari is resolute in her new focus. Keep history from
So
repeating
they
itself.
became one
And so
team.
Lux is forced to step up and take on the role of the leader of the Star Guardians. I have to be honest, the Starfall story here has been amazing. It's a shame this summary didn't really go into any of the details of that story, because it was amazing to see how Lux and Ezreal might have potentially gotten together, was it not for Jinx and Misfortune, who really tried to separate them. Long story short, this was an amazing story, and yes, since the summary mentioned the Star Guardians fighting Void Beasts, this is when the PvE game mode also
okay,
happened.
so it was in the
The
game.
PvE game mode was representing the fight in
Who's
the story.
the green hair girl?
Anyway, this is then followed
She's
up by
adorable,
the next
this girl right
chapter,
here.
the Slumber Party summoning,
Who is
which
she?
is where the Slumber Party summoning story happened, which is also known as the Pajama Guardians lore.
What the heck?
In an attempt to bring these two teams together, Lux invites the Star Guardians to a slumber party, though things go quickly awry when Misfortune, Ezreal and Soraka assume they are being invited
Soraka.
to an official meeting. And an extra-dimensional portal opens in the middle of the party. In the stressful aftermath, Misfortune and Lux find a close bond forming between them, the former haunted by a loss of the original team, and the latter struggling with the newfound duty of leadership. The Slumber Party, though disastrous at first glance, brings the Guardians closer together.
Okay.
Once again, this story was actually really good. and their pajamas are explained really well. At the very end of the story, once everything calms down, it is revealed that the pajamas were made by Lulu.
Oh.
This is then
They should
followed
made a
up by the
cinematic
chapter
about
called
this.
The Twilight Star. Unsurprisingly, this is when the Twilight Star story happened. Misfortune opens up to Lux about the Guardians she had lost on her original team, the meaning of leadership, and the future of Star Guardians. Meanwhile, Zoe, an ancient threat to the Guardians across the universe, finds her way to Valorant City. The Star Guardians' bonds of friendship and trust will be put to the limit in order to protect their home, its inhabitants, and each other from the Twilight Star. In case you are wondering why there wasn't some kind of a big fight with Zoe in this chapter, that's because there wasn't one, even in the story. And that's because of the next
I saw that
chapter,
cinematic.
called
Awesome.
The Light and Shadow. Far off in a deep corner of the galaxy, Nico is being hunted by Zaya
See,
and
she's
Rakan,
alive. Okay.
two former Guardians destroyed and resurrected under Zoe's control. Nico manages to fend off and weaken Zaya, but after being healed by Rakan, the pair outmaneuver Nico, intent on turning her over to Zoe. Zoe, Zaya, and Rakan eventually corner Nico, using Zoe's chaotic magic, preying on her doubt and fear. But just before Nico falls to the darkness, Ari appears, saving her former teammate.
Yay.
Yes, in case you are wondering,
So
the
Nico's
big
back
fight
in the
with
group
Zoe
now too?
and the grand finish of the Star Guardian lore so far happened in the latest cinematic. And after that, that's where the story cut off. So, we'll
Really?
see if it continues tomorrow. But here's the thing, at the end of the summary it mentions what's next for the Star Guardians. Be sure to check in and learn more in the days to come. Sounds awesome, the Star Guardian universe will be expanded once more. However, none of the previous Star Guardians were teased anywhere. Not in the skins, not in the teasers, not in the visual novel.
Right.
In the entire thing so far, there is only one statue of Lux. So, since we are getting 10 new Star Guardians,
Yep,
maybe all the
okay.
old ones just died.
It makes
Maybe that
sense.
statue is in memory of the original Star Guardians. Maybe all of this is getting a really dark twist.
Maybe.
But you bet
I
your
wouldn't be
shoes
mad
that
about
statue
that.
will be in the middle of the Valorant Park.
I wouldn't mind it going to a darker route. This is like, I won't Sailor Moon, but dark. You know, more mature. Yeah, this is awesome. Is there any more information about that? Let me know in the comments below. Alright guys, so that was Necrit's The Story of the Star Guardians so far. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments below, and if you have any other recommendations, put them down in the comments. And if you're new, please like, subscribe, ring the bell for notification. Thank you all so much for watching. You have a good day. Good night. Bye-bye.